Today I'm going to discuss a little bit about some more city government and this a little more focused nuisance and abatement. And those are kind of odd terms for the general public to understand, but I'm just going to give a general overview based on some experiences that I've had. We all have any community and neighborhood um, has certain expectations, certain standards, if you will, for their community. Some higher, especially those in higher class neighborhoods, economic, and you'll see that in most towns where you have the higher end towns versus the lower income sides. Um, but nonetheless, there's expectations. Now, uh, you're always going to run into properties, okay, that are run down, that have, excuse me, there we go. Anyhow, you're always going to have properties that are not quite up to your expectations. You're going to have high grass that's not being cut, uh, roofs maybe caving in. You may have properties that are affecting your property. If it's being neglected, you may have mice and rats, rodents that are infesting the area and maybe coming into your home. All of these are concerning because it brings down the overall value of the neighborhood, the adjoining um, properties. And so those are nuisance properties. And it is your right to contact your city, the city administrator, and let him or her know that this particular property is not being tended to. And what they would do is they go out and take pictures and assess if the claim is true. There are city ordinances out there that specify the height of grass that you're allowed to have, how high the tree branches must be above sidewalks. Um, all those things are governed, and uh, so the process is, if it is truly being neglected, the city administrator will send a notice to the property owner saying that this is taking place, and uh, you have so many days to comply to fix the problem. Now, another solution that is offered is that the city can go in and clean it up, and then just turn around and bill the property owner. That's a possibility too, probably a quicker one. Um, but at the same time, this process doesn't always work. Most of the time, it probably does, but there are times when it doesn't. Every community is going to have uh, properties that are abandoned completely, um, and you may not find uh, the owners, but um, and I'll just connect this with a current situation that we as a city council are involved with. A few weeks ago, we had several residents come to the council meeting, and were dismayed at a certain property that has been since abandoned. Rodents are affecting the neighborhood. The place is run down severely, and their contention was, why isn't the city stepping in and cleaning this up, maintaining it, holding the owners accountable, etc., etc. And all those sentiments we share, we feel, and we want to take care of. But at the same time, what needs to be understood is there is a legal process in this, where whether you are able to find the owners or not, there is still a legal process, because for any citizen, what's that called when you go on to another person's property without their express permission? It can be trespassing, right? So, and that you don't want to get into that at all. So what happens then is, you go through the legal process, and the term legal is synonymous with forever. And in trying to address the situation for an abandoned property that you cannot find the owner, it is a legal process, several hoops you need to jump through to acquire that property legally, and then to abate the property, to clean it up, perhaps tear down the structure, and to hopefully bring that that piece of property to a par, to a standard of level where it can be hopefully brought back onto the tax rolls of the city. Hopefully by building another home, or fixing up the existing home, building a business, whatever. But all those things enhance the property value of the neighborhood. Now, for owners that are found, again, there are legal processes to go through there. But if, like I mentioned, you have a certain number of days to comply to clean up your property, and if that time lapses, what then happens is the city will send you another notice, saying you are now in violation of city code, and that's when the court proceedings take place. For the most part, that's about it. From that point on, the city attorney and the city administrator may spend several times using your tax dollars to pay for the time and effort it takes to go and attend the court hearings over this, and all because a property owner will not take care of their property. And it is frustrating, not only for the residents of any community and city. It is highly frustrating for any city official, whether you are an elected official or a hired official. It is very frustrating, because that is a direct reflection of how the public views its own local government. If we have nuisance properties all over town that seem to not be taken care of, it shows that the town government is not doing its job, that we are not working fast enough. And that's interesting, because at my very first training as a city councilman, there was somebody from the state that was training a whole group of us from all around the state that were new to government. And the first thing he said right off is government is designed to slow things way down. And boy, that's true. But it's also important because it allows time to hopefully come to various solutions to different kinds of problems. It allows for uh, other parties, like nuisance and abatement people, um, allows them time to make amends to a problem that is affecting residents of the town. Uh, it it just allows time, and hopefully the end result is that that allowance of time hopefully makes government better, if you will. Hopefully it makes it come to better decisions so that in the long term the fruits of those decisions are better than the decisions that you make just off the cuff, here. And so, uh, in this video I briefly talked about nuisance and abatement. Um, you have a nuisance property, and so abatement tends to the various means of cleaning up that property and taking care of it. And so, my challenge to any a resident of any city is that if you have a nuisance property that uh, you have an issue with, first off, contact your city administrator and let them know. If you want, you can help to advance the cause by taking pictures and sending it to them. And also, number two, have a little faith that the process from that point on is being taken care of, because, and all of it is public information. It is highly likely that the property owner has been contacted and hopefully is in the process of having their, whether it be 10 days or 30 days, 60 days to clean up their property. But if not, that the case is in the court process, and that can take a long time. So my challenge is to not think so immediate and harshly against your city officials for a nuisance property, but it is your right to keep in contact several times if you want with your city administrator to gain updates on the proceedings. What stage of this are we at? And so that you remain favorable of the service that your city government is providing. So hopefully that gives you a little bit better insight into what nuisance and abatement is. And so I shall leave that at that for now.